Hola, hola todos. I hope you're doing well. And I'm a Latina college and postgrad coach that is here to help you succeed and explore postgrad opportunities. I started off with podcasting, then made my way to Instagram, TikTok, and so forth. We still podcast, but who doesn't love a good YouTube video every so often? Now let's go ahead and jump into the 6 ultimate scholarship tips, because I want you to win some dinero to help you get through higher education. But first, a yerba break. Real quick, I love yerba mate. I've been drinking it since my days at UC Santa Barbara as an undergrad. Although I love cafecito, a veces a good yerba just hits the spot. Now, number 1, plan ahead of time. And believe me, this makes a huge difference. So let me paint a pretty picture for you. You're starting fall season, you just came out of summer break. Now, typically summers, you relax, recharge, or you keep it going with doing internships, getting involved in your communities, whatever that looks like. You're a sophomore, and you saw that last year, there was something going around on Instagram. It's called the Hispanic Scholarship Fund. You learned about it last year, but you had just missed the deadline. So now, sophomore year is here, and tell yourself, I'm gonna go ahead and apply to this. But this time, because you had a game planned and planned ahead of time where you knew, okay, I'm gonna start fall semester, and around November, December is when the scholarship opens up to apply. This scholarship with the Hispanic Scholarship Fund, I'm gonna go ahead, sit down, type in the application, because I wanna make sure I can try to win money this time around. Because here's the thing, and I'm pretty guilty about it myself. We'll see all these opportunities floating around on social media, floating around in the newsletters that our campuses send to us, right? But then we can easily forget about it because we have so much going on. But if you plan ahead and strategize, okay, this scholarship comes up in the fall, I missed the deadline, let me go ahead and schedule it in so when the fall time comes again, I have it ready. Because here's the thing, I know procrastination is a thing for so many of us, and it's so hard to escape sometimes, but the more that we can prep ourselves to avoid that procrastination, the higher chance we have to win the scholarship money. Because a lot of the times, we don't know what we don't know unless we give it a try. Número 2, craft an intro that the scholarship committee can't forget. So you want to consider starting your scholarship essays with an attention grabber, such as a quote, a short story, I'm talking about short, or an antidote. And of course, for a quote, you don't want to choose a cheesy one. If you want some quote inspirations, definitely check out my Instagram. I share tons of those over there for free. I wouldn't mind, as long as it helps you get scholarship money into your pockets. Now, the reason why I want you to consider this strategy is because these scholarship committee readers, they get so many applications coming in. Like, yes, they encourage people to apply when they share it, announce, hey, the scholarship is open, check it out and apply. Pero at the end of the day, they are still reading so many. So when you are, imagine this, you are a committee member and you start off with a lot of energy reading the first couple of scholarship essays, right? But then it gets to the point where a lot of them start to sound very similar. Very, very similar, like, okay, we get it, da-da-da. But let's say there are 30 scholarship essays in and yours pops up and it starts off with something such as a first-generation Latina, statistically, I was not supposed to get into college. However, with my scholarly attributes, cultural inspiration, and dedication, I am now here at this institution as a proud first-generation student. Then that reader from the committee is going to be like, oh, okay, let me go ahead and keep reading this. I'm going to read this before I take my lunch. Número 3, stay original. And I know that goes kind of back and forth with número 2, pero with this one, you want to make sure you don't restate the prompt. This happens so often where the reader, they'll get your application and be like, okay, you're restating the prompt. I know what the scholarship entails. And trust me, being yourself, being original, it goes a long way. So please do not restate the prompt. Because again, one more time, we don't want the scholarship committee members to feel like your scholarship is just mixing up with the rest. Número 4, please do not trauma dump too much. I for sure am guilty of this. I can't help it because I know personally, as a proud Mexican American, Chicana first generation, My family and we've overcame so much just for little old me, young 20-year-old, to be on a college campus. And that is very extraordinary. But we want to make sure that when we're crafting our scholarship essay, we mention parts of our story, right? The challenges, but we don't want to get to the point where it then turns into a trauma dump type style essay. No, we start with our story, share the story however much we feel comfortable with, y luego we go ahead and start transitioning into the actions that you plan to take or have been taking to make you qualified and more than deserving to earn this scholarship. And again, I'm speaking from experience myself. I think not only did I have scholarship essays where I know I trauma dumped too much, but there were instances as well where I was trauma dumping too much on my college admission essays that I was writing to apply to transfer. And if it wasn't for my professors, who also served as my mentors during community college, that sat me down and told me, like, hey, I get it, I resonate with you, but how can we put it in a position where you started taking action or taking action for greater things? And if it wasn't for my professors / mentors telling me that, I probably would have trauma dumped more and for a lot longer in any type of university scholarship focused essay that was required of me to write. Número 5, know your audience. Who is the scholarship committee? And of course, we know it's going to be super qualified individuals. However, again, know your audience. So are you applying to a scholarship that is being granted by a nonprofit that is focused on women's rights? Or are you applying to an on-campus psychology department scholarship? And when you know that and you think about the type of prompt they're giving you, it's important that you brainstorm a method that will reference your academic success as well as the mission of that nonprofit. If it is a nonprofit organization gifting the scholarship, which again, in my quick example, I said, if it was a nonprofit for women's rights, and how you can tie together the mission of the nonprofit's organization to you as a woman college student and your academic successes together to make a powerful scholarship, and how it will support your future endeavors. Número 6, and probably one of my most favorites, take breaks and go outside. And please take it from me, not just from somebody that has applied to scholarships in the past when she was a first-year student, but even currently now as an entrepreneur, a college post-grad coach, I'm constantly applying to business grants that align with my mission. So there will be days where I'm inside behind my computer, where if I'm not working with clients one-on-one, I'm applying to these grants, very similar instance, scholarships. So I'm going to speak a bit more on my personal experience. When I spend a lot of time behind a computer screen, no matter how much I love the work that I'm doing, I start getting irritated. And that is not the best headspace for someone like me that's applying to scholarships or grants to be in. Because remember, we're crafting our scholarship essays to be as strong and creative as possible. So you don't want to be in an irritated headspace when crafting those essays. Take it from me, take those breaks, go outside, walk around, and drink water, because literally after spending so much time on your computer getting work done, your brain, it's gonna need to be replenished. And that water can help and do so. Not more caffeine, no matter how much I love hierbas y café. I'm not gonna lie, we're having so much fun. So here's my bonus tip that I'm going to share with you. And that is to keep your strongest drafted scholarship application on deck. So for me personally, I really enjoyed keeping my scholarship essays in my Google Drive. And the strongest one that I had reviewed and edited by other peers or mentors, professionals, I like to keep that one aside and reference it as I'm applying to scholarships. Because I'm not gonna lie, a lot of the times I feel like there's so many of us that believe we have to start from scratch with every application we apply to. But no, if you have a strong blueprint draft, you can literally just copy and paste and adjust as needed to meet the needs and the requirements that are being asked for by that scholarship committee so that your scholarship can match it. Anyways, this was so much fun. Thank you so much for spending time with me. If you are looking for one-on-one and community-based support, please check out the Cafecito con Estrellita membership. I will link it down below. Essentially, the Cafecito con Estrellita membership community is created for first-generation college students and postgrads to discover what's next. Please don't forget to hit subscribe, save, share this video for your records, share it with someone that you feel will benefit so much from this, and I'll see you in the next video. Adios.